Hey folks, this is Matt once again. Doing these videos around a couple videos in the same time frame. I have a couple saved up. Hopefully I'll get this uploaded by Monday. Because granted, I'm doing that. I have that limit, that bandwidth limit that I found out just recently, 150 gigabytes. Uh, each day I'm learning more and more about it and what I should and shouldn't do. And also now that my Linksys router is secure, maybe neighbors were stealing the stuff, like they can go on without me knowing about it and use the router bandwidth, and that's why. So that's all. So I just wanted to make sure on that. But at the same time, so each day, like right now, I'm gonna upload 3 or 4 videos and see how much. I know Classic Rocker and a few others gave me tidbits and points about it. And real quickly, I do apologize that a lot of you guys offer requests, and a lot of times I go maybe down the road or one day down the road. I really do mean that. It's just, um, it's I'm fortunately or unfortunately, it's kind of flattering, but uh, I get a lot of requests and a lot of requests, and it's just the time. So I do apologize for that. I know a lot of people want me to see the Evil Dead remake. I do apologize for that, but I just have no interest in seeing it in the theater. I just have no interest in seeing the film at all. And online, again with this bandwidth thing, I just want to make sure maybe one day down the road, but as of right now, I just have no interest in seeing it. So I do apologize for that. But again, want to get to the review. But last thing, I really wanted to get these I'll upload about 3 or 4 videos today because there are movies that people sent me and they want to hear my thoughts. That's all they asked, and that's humbling and it's appreciative to this stream. You don't know how much I appreciate. That's very kind, and it's the least I can do. So I really want to do that. Like right now, I'm going to review The Dead Zone for Lane 618, who was nice enough to send me a couple movies. And then also 2 movies from Waza 999 Able, and 1 from the First Power 100. And then by Friday at the latest, I want to upload the rest of Lane 618 movies he sent me, like Dead Ringers, The Birds, and stuff. Because it's the least I can do. I mean, they sent me this. It's the least I can do. So I really want to do that because, like one time I waited a long time. Someone sent me the James Bond films. I waited a long time and I felt bad. And the guy was nice about it, but I felt bad about it. And I don't want to do that because, again, when someone sends me something, it's the least I can do. And I'm trying to do that. But yeah, I don't have all the time in the world, unfortunately. But anyway, I know it's 3 minutes and I'm not into the video yet. But just saying, I do apologize to everyone out there for that. Hopefully, again, be 2 or 3 more videos after this in the same day, and then hopefully Friday I'll get the rest of it. Again, I do apologize for that. But anyway, I wanted to mention The Dead Zone, a film that Lane 618 sent me. And I still feel bad that he sent me this because he did not know that I had the movie on DVD, which I still feel bad about that. But this is the DVD I did have of the special collector's edition. It has a few features, which unfortunately no interview with David Cronenberg. No, there's David Cronenberg, but there's none with Christopher Walken or Tom Skerritt or Martin Sheen, which is too bad. But it still has a few features. Yeah, David Cronenberg and such talking about it. Although I will say, the DVD he sent me, it looks better. Like you can see, it looks better. Just looks better. I like the logo with the lights. The picture I think is better. Here's like half this stupid flame shit. While here it's... Plus it feels like a actual thick DVD, like it's not going to break. This feels flimsy, but this feels like it has a certain weight to it, which is nice. Plus it was a gift, so I'll keep this. But The Dead Zone was released in 1983, the year I was born. May 25th, to be honest. And The Dead Zone, it's a film starring Christopher Walken. and he's Johnny Smith. He's in love with this woman. He gets in a car accident, and he's in a coma. When he comes out of the coma, he realizes he has certain power that he touches, and he can see stuff. And pretty much what he sees is when someone is close to their doom or is ready to die, and for instance, he touches a hand and sees fire in a kid's room, and is able to warn and the kid to be saved. You also have the sequence where a little subplot where there's a killer going around, and the sheriff is played by Tom Skerritt. And for those wondering, Brooke Adams plays his fiance, or at least was his fiance. God, fucking Martin Sheen, duh. Martin Sheen plays a senator type guy who you see later on. That goes into the third act of the flick. But throughout the film, you really feel bad for Christopher Walken's character because, he was in love with this girl. He goes in a car accident. Then when he wakes up, just everything's pretty much changed. His mother is sick and dies. He pretty much get the idea, him and his fiance probably not going to work it out. He has these horrible visions when he touches someone. I always remember the scene where he's like, the ice is going to break. And Christopher Walken, I will say, gives a great performance. I would say this is one of my favorite performances by Christopher Walken. I think he does a really great job. Does a really nice job with the flick. The film, decently paced. It's a decently paced film. There are certain moments that are just memorable with this flick. For instance, when they're looking for the killer and the killer's mom basically going, you're the devil and this and that. And then the killer kills himself, and this is pure, I believe Cronenberg actually came up with this idea. It's pure, or someone, I don't believe this was in the Stephen King, of course this is based on the Stephen King novel. I don't think this was in the novel. The way the killer kills himself, it's like ritual suicide where he takes these scissors and does this and opens his mouth and goes down right on the scissors. And you don't see gore, but you get the gist of it, and it's really like, oh shit. And it's not an action film, it's not a gore film, it's more of a character piece of this guy, played by Christopher Walken. It's definitely one of his most, not only do I think it's one of his best, it's most sympathetic characters Christopher Walken's ever played, because you feel sorry for this guy who pretty much has to live a life of isolation and being alone, and he doesn't want to be anywhere because he touches someone. And like I was saying, that scene, the ice going to break, that's a sequence where there's this kid he becomes friends with, and when they least know it touches him, well, not in that way, gets the idea that he's going to fall through the ice, and that's where he's telling us, the ice is going to break, and of course the kid listened to him, and thus the kid survived, but some others, well, not so much, so to speak. And then you get to the third act where Martin Sheen's character is a senator, and then Johnny touches him, shakes his hand or such, and you see the sequence where he's president, and Martin Sheen's character is pretty much a dumbass president. We're gun-ho, okay, let's nuke the bastards. World War III is going to start if this guy gets in office. And so he knows he has no choice. I mean, who's going to believe him? So he takes a sniper rifle and is ready to shoot the guy. Fortunately, things don't happen. Things don't work out well. And while Martin Sheen doesn't get killed, his true colors do get shown because he takes his baby and uses it to block the shot. So he takes a baby and uses it. And of course, people click the pictures and it's like, okay, that's the kind of guy he is. Put a fucking baby in front of him to protect himself. And then he touches him one more time and realizes the guy's going to kill himself. It's a tragic love story. It's a tragic love story because he dies and she's crying his name, and people probably don't think he's this killer assassin, but really he was doing the right thing. He was doing the thing that needed to be done. So he saved the world. If you think about it, saved the world, and no one is ever going to know about it. So that's a true test of a hero, and definitely gives him more sympathetic. I think that's why I could deal with the ending is he dies, but he dies a hero, and it's tragic, but it's sympathetic, and it's not mean-spirited. I thought it was handled very well. I think both of with Christopher Walken, and also I thought Brooke Adams did a really good job in the role. Music composed and arranged by Michael Kamen, for those wondering. Produced by Deborah Hill, actually. Deborah Hill had a hand in producing this, usually with John Carpenter, but here with David Cronenberg. I would say this is one of David Cronenberg's most straightforward films, if that makes any sense, because usually David Cronenberg's flicks are pretty weird or confusing, or you're wondering what's reality, what's not, or is very sexual and very this and that. But this one definitely, I don't want to say mainstream, but you could say this and The Fly would be his most mainstream films. But I would say this is his most straightforward film. That's probably because it was based on Stephen King's novel. But I thought David Cronenberg, like John Carpenter, did well adapting Stephen King. I think John Carpenter did well with Christine. I thought David Cronenberg did well with The Dead Zone. It's definitely a solid Stephen King adaptation. How faithful is to the novel, I'm not sure 100%. But I thought the visions were handled well enough. I said decently paced before. There was a couple little slow spots. I mean, there's nothing in particular that I'm like, oh, you have to cut that out. But little teeny bits from time to time. But it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. And also, I was a big fan of the TV show that came out of it with Anthony Michael Hall on, I believe, USA. Could be wrong. Anthony Michael Hall played this character. And, of course, things went differently because it had to be a TV show. But there is a moment where one of his friends goes into, I forget if it was back in time or an alternate time, and Anthony Michael Hall's character goes through what Chris Walken's character does in the sniper rifle scene. But because of people like him and such being with Johnny, he never had to go through that. But I liked the TV show. I thought Anthony Michael Hall did a really capable job in a dramatic role. It was the first time I had seen, I know it's not the first time he played, but it was the first time I had seen Anthony Michael Hall, like the guy from Weird Science, and I thought he did a really good job. I thought the vision sequences were really well done. I was actually a big fan of the show, but I fell out of it because the last season or so just had a really shitty, like, conclusion. Like, it wasn't even much of a conclusion. They build this whole thing of the senator, kind of like Martin Sheen's character, and they don't, to me, it's like, sorry, my camera cut me off on that. But I was saying about the TV show, it wasn't much of a conclusion, that TV show. It just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm like, eh. But I liked the earlier seasons. Yeah, I thought the vision was well done. I like Anthony Michael Hall. I like the guy who played his buddy, although I forget his name right now. And I thought it was a well done TV show. I thought it was really cool because he would solve certain cases using the power and how he used it and how you saw the visions. And yeah, I thought it was really well done. I thought it was a really good show, good TV show. At least the first couple seasons. But this is still, as to which one I like better, that's hard to pick because, a TV show does have the ability to tell stories in a lot longer, tell more stories, of course. Tell more stories, more different stuff, while this just has one story to tell and it's hour and 40 minutes. So that's a show that even if you don't like one episode, there may be 2 or 3 or 4 episodes that you like. But I like them both. I can say I like them both. I thought Christopher Walken and Anthony Michael Hall did a really good job with their roles as this character of Johnny. Johnny Smith. And it's sympathetic here. It's character you feel bad about because he didn't want this gift. It wasn't like it was entrusted to him or he was greedy. It was just this terrible accident that smashed his head, and he wakes up and most of his life is gone, and he has this power he doesn't care for, and you just I think that's what makes this film work. You really feel sorry for the character. Christopher Walken gives a really good performance. That's why I would have liked to have seen an interview with the guy. I really would like to see an interview with Christopher Walken, his thoughts on the film, what he feels about it. Uh, I just part of me feels the subplot with the serial killer. Of the visions, that was probably the most interesting. The fact he was searching for a killer. I think it would have been nice to deal with that maybe a little bit more, like kind of like how they did on the show, where they dealt with it a little bit more of him trying to find out who the killer is and such, using his powers to do so. But if that wasn't in the novel, then I can't really blame the movie for it. But again, the way the killer kills himself is definitely an interesting idea. And then the killer's mom is a total psychopath, in my opinion. The score by Michael Kamen was well done. Fit the film, I thought. The cast did a really good job. Tom Skerritt was really good as the sheriff. Martin Sheen, really liked his performance. But I think Christopher Walken is my favorite performance in the film. Him and his character really helped this flick. Really is a big reason why I enjoy the film, The Dead Zone. It's a well done character, well done performance by Christopher Walken. Again, like I said, it's one of my favorite performances from the guy. And I think Christopher Walken's a really good actor. I don't think he's used as best as he could nowadays, but at the end of the day, I still think he's a really good actor. And, it's I don't know if you call it a horror film, because it is. It's not gory. It's not like you have David Cronenberg type gore of, like Videodrome with the cancer gun, or you don't really have a lot of taboo sets like Crash and stuff. Like I said, it's probably the most straightforward film. I think this film was a hit though too. I think this film was a box office hit. It would have been interesting to see if David Cronenberg would do another Stephen. I'm trying to think now if he ever did another Stephen King adaptation. I don't think he did. It would have been interesting to see what he would have done with another Stephen King adaptation. But either way, I don't know what more I can say about The Dead Zone. First off, thank you, Lane618, for sending me this. It was very kind of you. The rest of the movies you sent will be reviewed. The videos will be uploaded at the latest Friday. At the latest Friday. Because he was nice enough to send me this. The least I can do. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care. And stay tuned for a couple more reviews today that I have saved up. Later.